Shalom, fam. Man, I almost forgot I was going live. So, fam, if you were on the last live, you know that I started off from Ecclesiastes, verse or chapter 5, and I did verses 1 through 8. So, just understanding how you guard your steps when you go into Yah's house, and we ended on point 5. So, red flags. So, just to recap, fam, we talked about we started off by talking about the definition and looking for the characteristics of a cult or a cultic, some type of cult leader. And because a lot of us are determined to get to Africa and get connected with communities, we sometimes overlook things that we should not overlook, and we ignore the signs that we shouldn't ignore. So if you're on, I don't know who's on, but if you can give me a one or something, if my sound is good. I think it's pretty good. This AC is kind of loud in this room, so hopefully it's a little bit better. So I explained, that you should look for the manipulation, look for the control of the members that are in the group or village that these people are saying that they're building. So you got to look for those things, like, the leader who doesn't want you to speak out about issues, or they don't want you to have an opinion. They want absolute control over absolutely everything, and they try to get ahead of the narrative. They use psychological manipulation tactics. They make you dependent on them. They isolate you, and they also use financial exploitation. They also try to intimidate you by telling you that if you do this or if you don't do this, it's going to be an issue. All right, so I ended on false promises and unattainable goals. So often, they promise you extraordinary outcomes. They tell you how great it is. They tell you how enlightening it is. They they keep members striving without achieving. So, for example, if the group is saying that they have been doing these for 5 years or 3 years, but you see no fruits, like you see nothing, you don't see anything being produced, you don't see nothing happening, then that's a red flag. That's automatically a red flag. So I know you see the title. Are you getting recruited into a cult or and not a village in Africa? A lot of people feel like they're, a part of, are they coming into Africa trying to be a part of something big, but in reality, they're being manipulated by a cult leader, all right, a deceptive leader that doesn't want any good for you and your family. That's the reality, because we almost got recruited into that same cult or village. So, fam, I'm telling you, we've been looking at the signs from the beginning. From it's about to be 2 years ago. As soon as we get to 2020, 2025, it'll be almost 2 years of us like looking into Africa and traveling to Africa. Tanzania is mainly where our focus is. So, fam, we're gonna go to number 7. So, personal boundaries. So this is where, in consent, this is where the leader may infringe on the members of the group and may overstep the personal boundaries, like telling you what you and your family can and can't do. Like trying to dictate or determine where you go or where you buy or where you invest at, where you do certain things at. They're a little bit too into your business, because, if I'm coming into a community, like if I live in a community, my household and my decisions, my financial decisions is for me and my household. Now, if I have something to pour into my community or pour into the people around me, like my assistance, my help, I should be able to do that freely. But a cult leader will control how you can interact with the members in the group or within the community. And again, like we mentioned, they will ostracize certain people in the community and try to pit them against everybody else who's coming in, and make it seem like, oh, these people are so evil. These people did this to me and did that to me, not taking any of the blame. Like maybe you overstepped. Like a real leader is gonna say, hey, maybe I overstepped. Let me apologize. Let me make it right, because what I'm trying to do is build on good foundation, build on truth, and build on transparency. But what we've been noticing now these very people are trying to correct their steps by doing things the right way, are saying that, oh, well, let me get ahead of this, or let me do things and save all of us some issues later. But in reality, these leaders have been doing things wrong. And sadly, in this Hebrew Israelite community, right now, we have people with platforms and they want to call themselves messiahs, and they paving the way for certain things, but they can't even discern when somebody is wicked or doing wicked to people in the community. So how can you not determine or discern that when you are saying that you're in the truth and you keeping laws and commandments and statutes, but you can't determine if a person is doing people wrong? They're constantly putting out content talking about different people and saying that people are doing them wrong, and they're constantly controlling people. And just think about this. Why is it so much silence? Why isn't anybody speaking up about what's happening? Because they're being manipulated by this cult leader, making them feel like, oh, if I say something, if I get wrong, they're going to do a video on me. They're going to put something on YouTube about me and expose some of my business. Look, fam, y'all know what happened to me. As soon as we spoke up and we had a disagreement, first thing people do, go online and air out all of your personal business, say, and try to get everybody else in the community against you. I just put it like this. You must be some kind of special. The Most High is really looking at you if they do that to you. All right, especially when you know that your hands are clean and you know that you didn't do anything wrong. You know that you did right by people. You respected, everything. So this is things that you have to look at, fam. So cult leaders don't respect your boundaries. They infringe on your personal boundaries. They try to dictate all aspects of your life, your relationships, your lifestyle choices, and career path. Now, I can kind of agree on the lifestyle choices if you're in a community. Like, we're all agreeing to live and keep the laws and statutes and commandments. We're agreeing to that. But when you have one leader or these two leaders saying that they're the all, be all, say all, make all the decisions, ostracize whoever we want, kick out whoever we want without having a governing group of elders. Now, I'm telling you, watch. They're going to try to create something like that because they know they've been doing nothing but wickedness. They're going to try to clean up their tracks. But this is what we do. We hold people accountable. They have to go and clean up their act. We're still not going to deal with them, but you're going to clean up your act and you're going to start treating people right until until you ain't doing nothing anymore. All right, personal boundaries. We already went over that. All right, so we're going to go to number 8. So recognizing the mental and emotional toll that being in a cult will have on you. So I know personally from people that I've spoken to, people that we have helped, just by advice, and not helped in any kind of financial way, but just helping people, helping direct them, and kind of get them on track and just telling them what we did. Because once you get involved with these cults, they want to feel like they want to stop you from talking, for one. They don't want you to talk. They want to make it seem like you are just wrong, and you came with the drama, you came with the trouble. And if you've been following this channel, fam, you already know that I didn't say much about these people that I dealt with in the community, and even some of the leaders that I talked to on the back end of things. And I look at them differently now too, because how are you leading? Or you say that you this leader and you this voice of truth and voice of wisdom for people, when you don't even speak on things like this, because that's people's livelihood. Like, this whole thing, awakening we've been talking about, it's been about getting out of the Western system and getting out of, the traps that they set for us. And then y'all recommend us to go over to Africa and get trapped in another trap with our own people. And they treating us worse than these people, in the West. So I'm telling you, man, it'll blow your mind. So this is just a sidebar, fam. If you plan to move to Africa or repatriate, it's important to do it in stages and just take your time. Because you can move for a few months maybe, go back and forth. Some people don't agree with me. We can agree to disagree, because we made the decision to do what we have to do for our family unit. And, we just trusting that the Most High is guiding us and leading us. But some people believe that, once you leave, you shouldn't go back. That's your business, all right? Because at first, I'm be honest, we said that we weren't leaving. We was going to go and just stay and, ride it out in the trenches. But I'm telling you, they say Africa is healing, but it's also it can be chaos and it can be turmoil because it's not what you expect. It's not what you expect. And some people again may disagree because everybody's situation is different. So you can agree to disagree. You can go see for yourself. Even you'll get an opportunity, I'm telling you, because people will show their true colors once you get there. Now, I'm not even talking about the local people. I always want to say that. The local people are who they are, and you have to learn them, and you have to understand how things work in a country because they've been living there. So the foreigner is the one who have to come in and adjust to other foreigners who may have, they may be in a more of a position of power to manipulate you and manipulate the local people. But I won't get too much into that. So recognize the emotional and mental toll. So the real supporting networks, if you have a real support system, they're gonna promote freedom. They're gonna promote you to go out. If something is not working, they're gonna say, hey, maybe you go research something else, and you go and figure out what community or how you want to adjust. They're not going to manipulate you into only dealing with them, and they're not going to close off any net or connections that you could have with other people. All right, so that's that isolation again. All right, so how do we take action, fam? I think this is the biggest takeaway. How do we take action against this manipulation and this cult thing that's happening within our community? Now, we know our history. We know that it's been a lot of things in our past and still going on to this day because people are still in cults and they still in secret societies. They still in different organizations and they still do these secret things in secret, and it's in our community. You know, I wouldn't say in our community because, you know, we ain't a part of that, but it's there. So you got to know how to identify it. So taking action. If you suspect that you're in a cult. So we can suggest that you seek external support. So when I say external, that means somebody that's not connected to your cult or your cult leaders or even the other members in that cult. All right, so if y'all are not working together to find another resource, then you shouldn't even discuss with them what you plan to do or how you plan to get out or disconnect. So you can find trusted professionals, you can find friends and family who can support you or, you know, just kind of give you motivation to detach. Because sometimes you invest so much and you feel discouraged to disconnect because you feel like you're going to lose something. But trust me, fam, in Tanzania or in Africa, it's better to just cut your losses. Yes, you can fight for what you need to get back, but sometimes you have to know when it's time to just walk away, even if it's an opportunity you see, the land is beautiful, and you're like, oh, this is a great place. One second. Yes, ma'am? Oh, he's in lunch. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. All right, sorry about that, y'all. So, you got to understand that professionals in the country, like when you go and talk to a lawyer, they're going to tell you, because as soon as you tell them what's going on, they already know these tricks, these land tricks and manipulation tricks that people try. They know it already. So as soon as you tell a lawyer that's trusted and that's a real professional what you're involved with, they're going to tell you like, hey, nah, they're controlling you. That's not a good deal. You shouldn't. Because when I went to the government, they pretty much told me like, hey, that's a scam. You got enough to take these people to court if you want to. You can really take action against these people if you choose to. And I'm like, really, I would just like some of my resources back. But at the same time, sometimes you got to cut your losses and just be done. So that's how it is. Sometimes you got to just cut your losses. So we also recommend resources like support groups. I would say Jamaican African Travels, once again, I always big them up because really, if you speak to some of the diaspora that they have helped within the community or even just gave suggestions or advice, they have helped a lot of people with just a simple consultation, being super transparent, directing you, not telling you what you should do, directing you and telling you how to get out of certain situations. And I know sometimes people are hesitant to go to somebody else because they've been wronged and they think everybody over there just gonna do them wrong. Just look for the signs, look for the fruit, look for the red flags. If you don't see very many, pray about it. The Most High tell you, your gut will tell you. It's your gut will tell you. If it's uncertainty, maybe you just shouldn't move that way right now. You should just chill out, take some time. Maybe the Most High just putting you in a waiting period. So when it's time to be in that waiting season, just wait. That's what we did. We just waited. We waited for almost 5 months before we made any decision or any move. We moved there to Tanzania. It was 2 months. Within 2 months, these people had already did a hit video on us, really on me, and exposing the transfer that we made and the agreement that I required, because I required a agreement. If I'm going to send you thousands of dollars from the West, I'm going to require you to sign an agreement to say that you're going to do what you say you're going to do with that money. I didn't see anything wrong with that. But these people make it seem like, oh, it's so personal. No, it's business, brother. It's business. So if you ain't about business, don't get into business transactions with people if you're not going to keep that professionalism. So this is how you got to do with people there too. Paper trail, track everything, have them sign everything, have them sign agreements. This is another way that you can take action. They need to sign agreements. You need to document every single stream of communication. You need to save it into an external hard drive, multiple external hard drive, because we know a lot of these people, they're into witchcraft and all kinds of things, and they are chanting and doing all kinds of rituals and demonic things that they're doing. I'm telling you, they are. So you have to stand firm, you have to fast, you have to pray, and you also have to just disconnect. Disconnect as much as you can. Move, disconnect. If you live near these people, or if you near them, or you socializing, disconnect. And they will want your reaction, because the enemy feed off that negative. So whatever you do, the way you take action, do it in peace. Document everything, record everything you can. Create a folder. I got a folder, a binder, spiral notebooks, a notepad. Every communication from when I first went to Tanzania, I have every day. I even have a booklet where I was writing down everything that happened each day, the things that we talked about. So if people want to do checks and balances, they can do it with me, because, man, they will not want me to sit down and do checks and balances and call them out on a lot of things that happened. So trust me, I already know. I already sent emails and sent messages, and it's silence. In fact, people delete you. They delete you from their WhatsApp. They delete you from their groups, because they don't want you, in their business, or, exposing their business. But they get online and try to do all kinds of talking. All right, so another way to take action is choosing the time to step away. So I say the time is now. You shouldn't wait. You shouldn't wait 2 weeks. You shouldn't wait a month. If you recognize it now, get out, because the longer you wait, the more chaotic it's going to be. But I would say this: move in silence and peace, because you don't want to identify yourself. You don't want to do that. Don't identify yourself. Move with peace. Like, oh no, just I'm going in a different direction. That's it. Keep it at that. You don't got to bring them all into your business, because guess what? The cult leaders are going to try to get in your business. Oh, are you talking to this person? Are you talking to that person? Don't say any of that. It's none of their business. It's between you, your family, and the Most High. All right, so I'm going to conclude this, because I only have 4 minutes for my lunch. So in conclusion, empowerment and awareness. So it's important that you empower yourself and the people around you, like your husband and wife. Empower your wife to assist you with the business things and getting things done, because that is your main support group. So pray for just that strength between you two, because you're going to need it. When you down as a husband, or if she down as your wife, or if it's just you and you down, you have to find somebody that's going to like help you, keep you motivated. And it's not like going to that person and complaining about the same thing over again. Because I feel like if you tell me what's going on, that's all I need to know. The first time, I got it. Now let's talk about what we're going to do. What we're going to do about it. Like, how are we going to change it? How are we going to get better? All right, how are we going to stop these people from manipulating our people? First off, we're going to get detached. We're going to unattach from them. And then we're going to speak about it amongst our community, our trusted people. All right. I don't know. We just go silent when people do us wrong for some reason. We just go by the wayside. Um, so just know knowledge is power, fam. If you don't have knowledge, if you're not seeking the knowledge and information, yes, it may take people years to find certain information, but if you don't ask the questions and go and get the information and gather it, then you always gonna run into issues. So you have to be able to recognize the signs of manipulation. All right. So once you regain control of your business and affairs, because I think that was the toughest thing for me. I think at month 6, no, it wasn't month 6, it was like month 4 is when we really regained control, because we were dealing with this lawyer and we was dealing with these people running their mouth, talking about our business, kind of putting a target on us. And once the Most High gave us control, and we was like, y'all have no power. Y'all just talking. Y'all just intimidating. Y'all have no power. They try to put themselves in a position of power, but the amount of followers online doesn't give you power over people's life or situation. All you're doing is getting a fan base of people talking, sending emails. And I was like, man, y'all doing all this talking for these wicked people, and none of them ain't about nothing, because if they were in the States or if they were anywhere in reach with the right people, they would not be doing all that talking. So I know for a fact that it ain't even about like getting physical either, fam. I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't do those things because you would go to jail. You would get locked up. You wouldn't do these things and take thousands of dollars from people and manipulate them or put their business out, because you will be in trouble. You'll be in legal trouble. So it's hard to do that in another country, because the government sometimes don't know where all these people at, and they don't really know all the business affairs that go on. So if you want to assure that you're going to regain control in the country, you go to the government who's collecting the tax. You go to the local government in whatever area, whether you're renting a house, you meet the local government and people in positions of power. You meet the police chief if you can, and you form a relationship with them. You go to the bank, you form a good relationship with them. You make them know that, hey, you're coming there to do things, do business. You talk to the branch manager. This is how you regain control. And you talk to the people, the leaders in the community, in that country, wherever you at. Don't waste your time going around in circles talking to these people who say they're RePats and they're leaders and they're business owners, and they ain't got no building built. They don't got nothing going on. You don't see nothing. All you see is bush and trees. Like Mr. Clyde said, you don't see nothing. And I'm looking at a few different people. And I'm even looking at the people who online constantly talking, and they ain't never even been to Africa, and they online talking about go to Africa, and they ain't never even been there. So it's like, man, I can see why people try to tear the Hebrew Israelite movement back to Africa, because it's like we got so many mouthpieces and y'all can't even discern right from wrong. Y'all on here doing all these teachings and doing all these things, but you ain't even like holding people accountable in the community. Anyways, I'm going on a rant again. So you can also pressure them with authority. That's another point that's kind of difficult, because in a different country, it's hard for you to do that with the police. I'm gonna say that because of access and getting to you and the communication barrier. That's kind of hard. So that's all I got, fam. So just empower yourself, get back control of whatever you have invested or whatever you've been doing to attach yourself to these manipulative leaders. And that can be in any situation, not even just in Africa. When you're in a situation where somebody is manipulating you and they're in a position of power and they're doing you wrong, you know they're doing you wrong. You have to document everything. So it's just important, fam. I'm gonna do another video because I also want to talk about some other business aspects for people in Africa are going to Tanzania. I can't speak on nothing else because I haven't been there. So I can't speak on South Africa like I've been there. I can't speak on Zimbabwe and Kenya like I've been there. And if y'all notice me, fam, I can't speak on things that I'm not doing, and I can't produce. I only can speak on experiences that I've gone through or that I'm currently dealing with. So, and to be honest, man, things been peaceful and on the up and up, and it's a blessing. So, y'all bless, fam, and I'm gonna finish my work day, and y'all have a good afternoon, evening, or wherever you at. Y'all bless.